everyone, and welcome to Keith Does Stuff. It's Monday, so I'm going to do a vlog. I know I haven't made any videos for a whole week. I was taking a week off. At the beginning of last week, I had an issue with the internet. We just moved to another place in London. We were in Essex for a week, and now we're in London. And so we're in a different place, and we didn't have internet for a few days, but now we do. So here's a new video this week. So for a week, we were in Essex, which for those of you who are from England or really anywhere in the world, like it's the only way is Essex, you know what it's like there. So we went to Colchester Zoo, which is in Colchester, and I've been told that it's the best zoo in England, but it's the only zoo that I've been to in England, so I'm not really quite sure. But it was really, really good. Everything was really awesome. There were lots of monkeys. The finale was getting to the red pandas, which were awesome, except they were sleeping for pretty much the whole time. We sat there for half an hour and waited for them to do anything. I have some video of them sleeping, and then some video of them actually doing things. Zookeepers came and fed them some food, and one of them got up and sort of did some things. They walked around a little bit, made some faces, and then went back to sleep. So, since we've been back in London, the weather has been phenomenal. You might actually see me sweating right now because it's like 80 degrees in London and no one has air conditioning here, so it's really disgusting at night. But super cool during the day. We've been to a whole bunch of parks, and in Kensington Gardens there's this Peter Pan statue, which I actually had like on my list of things I really wanted to see in London when I came over here to begin with. It was quite possibly the most disappointing statue I've ever seen in my life. It was like this big, and Wendy was just looking at Peter Pan's skirt thingy, Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe, in Kensington Gardens, which was really, really, really awesome. It was like a 360 stage, and there were only like 400 or 500 seats, and everyone pretty much got to see the entire thing because you were watching it on a little itty bitty stage, and it was a really cool stage. It did lots of pretty things. A wardrobe came out of it, lions were there. And I know that I didn't get a chance to talk about it in one of my last vlogs, but we actually saw Matilda as well. And if you are in London, I would highly suggest seeing it. It is really, really witty and really good. I was actually sitting as far back in this theater as you possibly can. Literally the worst seats in the house. Like, I have cheap friends. I didn't even see any of the faces. We walked out of the theater and I was looking at the posters going, oh, so that's what they looked like. And it was just really, really good. It was really witty and well written, and the music was phenomenal. And I'm gonna go back again and see it a little bit closer. It's not in Cheap Friends. It was written by Tim Minchin, and if you're familiar with him, or if you're not familiar with him, he just wears lots of eyeliner and has really long hair, sings songs about the Pope. So something else I've done since I've been here is I've gone to a couple of malls in England. The first one I went to was called Elephant and Castle, and that was depressing. It was this little, actually it wasn't little at all, it was pretty big, but all the stores were closed and there were people inside playing music, but it was like sad music, and it was just really weird and not comfortable at all. The second mall I went to was Lakeside, which is in Essex, and it was really a giant mall as well. The thing that struck me about this mall is through the entire time we were there, down on the floor, they had a live presentation of models showing off clothes from the store. It was really cheesy and really awful. And then the last one I went to was a Westfield in London, which those of you who are from California or San Francisco or whatever, I assume there's more than one Westfield, but in San Francisco there was a Westfield mall right down the street from my apartment, which I went to frequently. Right before I moved, Britney Spears went there. That was cool. And this was just a enormous mall. There were so many stores, and so many stores I've never heard of, but also a lot of American stores. It's striking how many American stores make it here, but how many British stores do not make it to America. There was this one store called Sting, and I was immediately drawn to it as a homosexual because there were bright flashing lights inside, and the escalators going up to the second floor had disco lights on the side of them. And the elevator itself was just a big light. It was all very bright and flashy and just what I want in life. And so we went into there, and there were lots of pretty clothes. I almost got a jean jacket, but then I didn't because it was like 80 pounds. So we were in H&M, and a fight broke out. It was really, really crazy. It was like everything was happening so fast. Gemma wasn't even with me. She went into the dressing room. But I'm like looking across like the way, and there's this girl who's just screaming, and I thought she was having a seizure, but it turns out her boyfriend was getting his face smashed into the floor. So what happened is some guy pushed her, maybe not on purpose, don't know, and then her boyfriend was like, hey, don't push my girl. And then the guy was like, I'll do what I want. And then he pushed him to the ground and started stomping on his face. It was very, very violent. And there was blood everywhere. They had to close the shopping line and clean, this is me mopping, clean up the blood. So what we have found is that London restaurants really, 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 really hate us. We go to these restaurants with the full intention of being their customer, and they're just shut all the time for kitchen maintenance required, or we're just not open on Sundays, or whatever their excuses, or it's 11:30 at night. We stop serving food at 11. Come earlier next time. I can't help it that we eat dinner at 11:30. So a few places that we have gone to are this cool like burger chain. It's called Byron, and it's very important, it was medium rare, which all of the burgers I've had here have been cooked until they are stiff. Like, I like my steak be almost to the point where it's still mooing at me. Nobody here does. So they're like always burnt and crispy, and it's just not good. But Byron said, hey, we cook our burgers at medium rare. Is that okay with you? And I said, yes, in my mouth. I ended up going to every single Chipotle that's been in London. There's only 3, but we have gone to a couple of them more than once. To the point where the people at the cash registers recognize us and say, here's a free voucher for guac and chips. We will see you tomorrow. I mean, I really like Chipotle, so I don't have a problem with this because they're very, very good. We actually had Chipotle today and the day before yesterday. So we, like I said, we've been moving around a lot. We've been using Airbnb.com to pretty much book all of our like staying places. Before we were near Elephant and Castle, which was sort of sketchy but really cool. I liked it. Now we are near Borough, which I really, really like. It's actually been like really amazing. And how we're doing it is, before when I would stay at places, I would rent the whole apartment because I don't like dealing with people. But for this trip, we've been like making it a point to rent it with the people still living here. So like we're just renting a bedroom here, and the people who live here are still here. It's been really fun because you get to meet people, and they've been telling us their favorite places in the city to go, and we've been telling them where we've been going around, kind of like, oh, we'll try that out. And it's been, they made us dinner last night. And then like last night, even though it's 800 degrees, I feel like I'm living in the depths of hell. We got hot chocolate, and it was like, one of the guys gave us the option. He was like, what kind of hot chocolate do you want? Do you want fair trade or good hot chocolate? And I was like, I'll have fair trade. I like saving the earth. And he was like, well, I'll make it work for you. And he brought us like the fair trade hot chocolate with chocolate pieces melted in it, and it was just very, very good. So if you're ever in a position to use Airbnb, I highly suggest getting it with the people there. You'll probably run into some weirdos, but we haven't had that happen yet. So it's been good. Alright, so that's it. Thank you everyone for watching Keith Does Stuff. Sorry for taking a week off. So I've got some medieval sort of gamey plans for the rest of the week. So I will see you on Wednesday.
Right, you have to beat it really. Cool story, bro. Pretty cut a bit of that one out.